using Excel's copy-paste and autofill features.
You've seen how easily you can perform calculations in Excel using formulas. Excel offers several other tools that help streamline this process and improve productivity. Let's look at two such tools, copy-paste feature and autofill. Together, they allow effortless replication of data, formulas, and even patterns, without manually entering them cell by cell.
Let's look at the various methods of copying and pasting cell contents in Excel using the Time Tracker workbook. In Excel, copying and pasting cell content is a straightforward process that facilitates data transfer within and between spreadsheets. Let's begin with methods that are commonly used in other Microsoft 365 applications like Word and PowerPoint too. The most straightforward method is using keyboard shortcuts. Select the cell or range of cells you wish to copy. Then press Ctrl and C to copy the cell contents. Select the desired location and press Ctrl and V to paste the copied content. If you prefer the mouse, right-click the cell or range of cells you wish to copy and select Copy. Then, right-click the cell where you want to paste the content and select Paste. You can also use the Office ribbon to copy and paste cell content. On the Home tab, select the arrow next to Clipboard to access the copy and paste options. In Excel, you can also copy and paste content using the Fill handle, which is the small square at the bottom right of a selected cell. Dragging this handle over adjacent cells allows you to quickly copy the cell content from the original cell to the selected range. Excel's copy and paste function is very useful in replicating formulas. When calculating the difference between the planned time and actual time for various activities, you are using the same formula in the rows in cells E2 and E3. Instead of manually entering the formula in the various cells, you can leverage Excel's powerful copy and paste functions to quickly replicate formulas. To find the difference between planned time and actual time for the third activity, let's copy the formula from cell E2. You can use any of the methods of copying cell content to copy the formula. Let's use the keyboard shortcuts to copy and paste the cell content in E2 to E4. To copy the formula from cell E2 to cell E4, select cell E2 and press Ctrl and C. Then select cell E4 and press Ctrl and V. Excel copies the formula from E2 to E4, not the value in cell E2. To learn how to use the copy and paste function to copy formulas, you need to understand how cell references work. Typically, when you reference a cell in Excel, it's done in a relative manner, meaning the reference depends on the cell's position. For instance, if you are in cell E2 and you reference cell C2, you are essentially pointing to a cell 2 columns to the left, both within the same row, which is row 2. When you copy a formula with such a relative reference, Excel adjusts the cell reference inside the formula based on its new location. In the Time Tracker worksheet, the formula in cell E2 is equal sign C2 minus D2. When you copy this formula to E4, Excel adjusts the formula to equal sign C4 minus D4. That is, the column and row references change relative to the position to which you are copying the formula. Excel uses relative cell referencing by default. What if you do not want the cell references to change when you copy the formula? If you don't want a cell reference to change when you copy the formula, you can use an absolute reference. This is done by placing a $ sign in front of the column letter, row number, or both. Using absolute references allows you to refer to a specific cell in your formulas regardless of where you copy them. Suppose you want to add the total plant time in cell C7. In cell B7, type total and press tab. To calculate the total plant time, type equal sign C2 plus C3 plus C4 in cell C7 and press enter. Now try copying this total to cell H7 using keyboard shortcuts. Cell H7 displays the value 0 as Excel used relative cell addresses while copying the formula, and the formula in H7 is equal sign H2 plus H3 plus H4. Suppose you want to display the total plant time in cell H7 too. To do this, you need to use absolute references in the formula you copy. So let's modify the formula by using cell references with the $sign before the column letter and row number. To add the formula with absolute cell references, in cell C7, type equal sign $C$2 plus $C$3 plus $C$4 and press enter. Now copy the formula from cell C7 to H7 using the right-click menu. Note that neither the column letter nor the row number changes in the copied formula. The $signs before the column and row references make them absolute. So when you copied the formula to cell H7, it referred to the same range. Therefore, the value in cell H7 is the same as the value in cell C7 too. When you are practicing this lesson, try adding the $sign only in front of the column letters in the formula and observe the value displayed when the formula is copied to another location. Next, apply the $sign solely to the row numbers and again take note of the difference. Excel has a very useful tool called Autofill to replicate patterns across cells. Remember that one of the ways of copying cell contents is by dragging the fill handle. The fill handle can also be used to quickly populate cells with a series of data, allowing for swift and consistent data entry across cells. In the Time Tracker workbook, note that the date in column A is sequential. You can easily extend the series for the date column using Autofill. To use Autofill, first select the range of cells containing the series you want to extend. Here, let's select the cell range A2 to A3. Move your cursor to the fill handle of the selected cell A3 until it turns into a small black crosshair and drag to the cell where you want the series to end, which, let's say, is the cell A10. Note that as you drag, Excel automatically fills in the series of dates for you based on the pattern of the initial selection. Autofill is not only useful for extending a series of dates, but also for other types of data. For example, you can autofill days of the week, months, or even custom patterns. Excel can intelligently recognize and fill in the data based on the initial selection. Here, a list was created based on the first two entries, day 1 and day 2. Similarly, you can create lists based on other patterns such as Club 001 and Club 002. As you can see, Excel has incremented the numbers, maintaining the pattern.
You have learned how to use Excel's copy-paste and autofill features to copy not just data, but also formulas and even custom patterns. Your options to replicate content in Excel include using keyboard shortcuts, the mouse, the ribbon, and the fill handle. You can use any of these options to copy formulas from one cell to another. Remember that the value that is displayed in the cell to which the formula is copied depends on whether the cell reference on the formula is relative or absolute. The autofill features in Excel helps quickly expand patterns or data sequences across cells with just a drag of fill handle. Therefore, Excel's copy-paste feature and autofill are two powerful tools that you can use to reduce manual input of data and improve efficiency. Keep practicing you have learned to master the skills. Good luck, and move on to your next topic on using basic functions such as sum and average.